Greetings YouTube, this is the Hero Arc. I recently posted, which I don't know if anybody saw, but kind of a codified overview of what I'm trying to do here. And of course at its core, I'm documenting the regaining of my life through strength and discipline and kind of putting an old me behind me and looking towards the future ideal optimal version of myself for my own well-being, for my family, for my children and grandchildren. But what I came up with recently after some deep introspective thought is that what the Hero Arc represents. So here's a list. I'm going to reference my phone because I don't have it memorized, but I wanted to share it and have it here as part of a legacy for my kids to see someday, for anybody also that's interested, and for myself to refer to regularly. So the Hero Arc seeks productive hardship. What that means is getting out of the comfort zone without chaos, weight training, hiking, learning new skills, not being scared of friction, because getting out of your comfort zone allows for growth. But doing it in a destructive way goes into that villain arc that we talked about before. Creates more than consumes. We live in an age of overabundance and there's a lot of consumption out there. And for me, in turning my life around, I find it necessary to create rather than consume, because I've taken in all this input. Now it's time for me to output and create and put things out into the world, Accepts full responsibility, no placing blame for failure, for shortcomings, for any negative forces in the world. At the end of the day, everything in my life is an extension of my choices and my decisions. Though I can't control everything that happens to me, I can always control how I respond to them. And that's a big part of what shapes the reality around you, is your attitude and perspective. The Hero Arc responds deliberately. Feels like I've just kind of told people what they want to hear most of my life, and or responded in ways that I thought I was supposed to. At this point, along with taking accountability, I want to take accountability for everything that I say and how I interact with people, and I want to be a positive force in this world. So I want to always respond with intent to those around me, in real life and online, everywhere. And really just always put thought into what I'm saying and what I'm actually putting into the world. No just empty-minded statements or being ignorant or anything like that. Like, always have a purpose with what I'm saying and interact with people intentionally, because it's just authentic, for one, and I feel like it's just a better way to be. Impose a structure daily. If it's not growing, it's degrading. Like, for me, if I'm not working for something constantly, I've learned, then I'm working backwards. So I always want to have my eyes on the goal and always continue working towards what I want to achieve. And that's by putting little systems and everything in place, knowing what I'm doing with my day. And I also came up with these daily laws. I thought they were pretty cool. It kind of encompasses everything that I'm trying to do and all the ways that I'm trying to grow right now. So the first daily law is body. Move with intention, no 0 days. That means every day, get out the door, do something that's going towards the goal, participating in my fitness, doing another fitness challenge, always be in motion for at least 45 minutes a day. Should be much more though, honestly. I'd love to live a life just constantly in motion. Second law is creation, produce more than consuming. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Think about how powerful that is. If you produce, or me, because that's what this is about, but produce more than I consume a lot of every day in all areas, whether it be media, food, just all sorts of different input from all sorts of different places. And I've talked about in the past my issue with peer validation. Like, if I'm taking all these inputs, then when do I have time to have outputs? Creating more than I consume is a big one for me. I mean, that's extremely powerful. Third daily law is order. Remove chaos from one space. That could be mentally, physically, spiritually. And it's funny because since I started implementing this law only I think 2 days ago, I wake up and I see chaos in places I wouldn't have before. It's like a shelf that's cluttered, or a room that needs rearranging, or a room that could be used for, better purposes. Or remove chaos from one space, like one space a day. If you do that and everything has a place, not in like a OCD way, but just, take a look around. There's things out of place that can help you understand what I'm going through. Like, all these spaces could be better utilized, and especially areas where I work, music, art related stuff, all that. Those are spaces of creativity, but I need to bring order to them. So it's just all around, if I take one space a day and bring order to it, and then that extends further. Like once I have my house in order, we went on that hike the other day and there's a little bit of trash. Like I could take the kids out there and you know, this is a beautiful hike. We love it so much. We could bring order to it by walking that path, picking up the garbage along the way, you know, stuff like that. You know, it slowly expands into creating a more beautiful world around myself and my family. So I thought that was huge. Daily law number 4 is silence. Think without input. Back to this always consuming all these inputs, all this stuff, all the time, all this noise, right? Taking a break and listening to your internal dialogue, processing your own thoughts, creating a plan within yourself without any outside stimuli. That's becoming extremely important to my path right now. And I've talked about that a bit here. That's actually where these laws and where kind of the overview of the hero arc came from, was one of these moments of silence where it's just myself, a notebook, and anything. It's probably accumulation of many different inputs, but just stemming from myself without any active static input at that time. These were just a couple things I wanted to go over for today, and a little bit overview of what the hero arc is, these laws that I've come up with to help govern myself through this project. Thank you for joining me. Have a good one, and may many blessings meet you on your path. Till next time.